I just want to say thank you again for all the people watching. Really appreciate you. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe. Please follow us. We are the People's Card Shop. We also stream every Monday our Nexus night. So come check out the action on that one.
Yes! Oh my god!
I'm a big fan of Arhi. Ari's one of the decks I played a lot during Origins format. I'm a big fan of like hold strategies and just blue decks in general. And I think Ari's just like a really awesome choice to play if you like, playing like these control decks. Just being able to, mess up the combat math is really fun for me at least. I like being kind of like a troll. When will N be featured? What?
One day.
Give me stream or give me death. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just want to let everyone know this is the undefeated bracket right now, and that is Arhi at 2-0 versus Draven. So let's find out. Kyle is rolling a 3. And then it's going to be a 7 for the Arhi. So Arhi gets to go first. It's Zon Warren's Raven Bloom Conservatory. We know what Zon Warren's does. Discard a card when you conquer, draw a card. But if you are unaware of the new Spiritforged card, Raven Bloom Conservatory, it's whenever you defend here, reveal the top card of your main deck, and if it's a spell, add it to your hand. Arhi is often a deck that uses stuff like battle tricks and buffs. So the continual draw from something like a Raven Bloom Conservatory is going to be pivotal in this matchup. But both players are beginning, and let's see what they're going to start off with. Arhi definitely wants to be able to hold the battlefield as soon as possible because that's the game plan here. So he's probably looking for a 2-drop just to be able to get the early tempo going on. And if I was the Draven player, I'm not going to lie, I have not played a lot of Draven versus Arhi, so I would just assume that Draven wants to kind of use and abuse like some of the removal spells that Draven sometimes techs in. But let's see what it is. He's activating the Emperor's Divide?
I think it's a Desert's Call.
Desert's Call.
2 mana, make a Sand Soldier repeat. You can make 2. It's kind of cool because it's a 2-might unit at the very minimum. You just get to play a guy on 2, guaranteed.
But then it's cool because it's a mana sink. You get to summon 2 guys just in case. And here we go.
Classic cheating purple.
Yep, stacked deck. The great part about stacked deck is it lets you search for a 2-drop or what you need, and here it comes, the Traveling Merchant.
It is a best of 3. So 3 rounds, and you get to pick your battlefields in between and side deck.
And yes, sir, if you guys have noticed, this is Prismat, the winner of the Best of Draven. And, ooh, Eager Apprentice comes down for the Arhi.
Interesting.
If you don't know what Eager Apprentice is, if you are not tuned in with the hot Arhi tech, Eager Apprentice is a 3 energy unit, 3 might. When she is at a battlefield, all your spells become 1 energy less with a minimum of 1. So 1 mana disciplines, 1 mana blocks. This Eager Apprentice is a great card in a hold strategy because it kind of just doubles the amount of mana you have.
It's kind of like a little baby Vex that's only affecting you.
But the
Original Vex.
The thing with Vex, though, is Vex is whenever it's in a combat. Eager Apprentice is just when it's at a battlefield. So it really can be used and abused. So this Draven deck is trying to just win as many battles as possible. So let's see how he's going to go ahead and do it.
Into stack deck.
Multiple activations of seals and a stack deck really makes me think that Kyle is playing the Miracle Draven deck. A deck where you kind of assemble a huge turn, activate multiple cards, and try to play cards like Battering Ram for really cheap or Rasas that are really discounted and kind of abuse the fact that you summoned a huge amount of might in an early game of a turn.
Draven is really picking his hand, and from now on, all of his purple power is not going to really affect him at all because he has 2 gears up already. But 2 of your cards in your hands being gear means that they weren't additional cards. So he is 2 cards down over his opponent. hopefully we can win some battles and get that card advantage back.
Yep. Gears often are kind of like, not slow, but they take up space in your hand. But the beauty of Draven is being able to refill it.
Whoa.
And there you go.
Noxus Hopeful Battering
and
Ram.
and another Battering Ram. 2 of them coming down. That's 14 might in 1 turn. The Arhi deck is not handled and equipped for that. If the Arhi deck even wants a semblance of a chance right now, he has to have something like a Singularity or potentially like a Thwonk. But even then, the Thwonk will just stem the bleeding. We need something like a Singularity to go ahead and try to push off this damage.
If you didn't know what Battering Ram does, it costs 1 less for every card that you've played this turn. So playing the Noxus Hopeful, the double gears, the stack deck, and then double Battering Rams on top, each being 5 might, Noxus Hopeful being 4. Insane amount of might. I was about to say that Arhi was setting up pretty nicely, but then Draven came right out the gate. 14 might out of nowhere. So we're going to play Sona. Sona getting all of that, all those runes already available on your opponent's turn and being discounted by the Eager Apprentice. It is a lot of might, but we have a lot of mana to use right now. We're going to put a hidden card.
And there's the thing, if Arhi is able to weather the storm of this initial miracle turn of dropping this much damage, then I think Arhi has a good shot here. The main issue is having the answers for those cards. No, this is not finals, guys. This is round 3. We started at 5 o'clock. We have over 80 players. This is going to be 7 grueling rounds to find out who's going to win a gold medal in the Silver State. I love saying that, by the way.
It's a good motto.
And here we go. Prismat is looking for it. So what often happens here is the miracle turn. It sets up the big turns where they have a lot of creatures, and it often empties out their hand. So he needs to find this fine balance of not, unloading all of his hand at once to have the potential of getting blown out by cards like Singularities. Yeah, Arhi in the finals would definitely be crazy. So just so everyone knows, the unsleeved card is a token. George, said before the match, he is a Sand Soldier. He just didn't have tokens. I said it's all good. And so just so for clarity's sake, that is a Sand Soldier.
I wonder what hidden that is. Well, we're about to see. Maybe it's an Hourglass to protect the Sona.
I would love a double Thwonk here. Oh, yes,
Thwonk.
yes. And here we go. Big Thwonk energy coming from George. It's going to double knock down probably the 2, what is it called? The 2 Battering Rams, and it's going to eat. Actually, no, it can just eat up one of the Battering Rams. Nice.
So we have 5, and then we have the Sona Might there as well.
I wonder if
we could be able to trade with Noxus Hopeful and 1 Ram.
Oh, yeah, we are. This Thwonk really is a blowout. And, oh, my goodness, the Thwonk was Omega cheap because of the Sona. Not because of the Sona, but because of the Eager Apprentice. It costing 1 is a huge deal.
Oh, he still has a Discipline in his hand as well. He's just trying to bait some removal from the Draven side before he commits extra on top here. Looks like he has another Thwonk, another Discipline, or the first Discipline.
Yeah, and that's the thing about playing sometimes against these oddball decks. Prismat plays a lot of games, but, if you haven't played against Arhi that much, you not don't know what is going to happen, but really anything can happen when playing against these rogue decks. Ooh, and we see another Thwonk in hand and a Discipline.
So good thing for us that Draven did not win that combat, and we got to clear most of his board at this point.
And then Sona gets to come back and hopefully just, keep untapping.
The only thing I'm worried about right here is Arhi is a little bit down on card draw. We do have the Discipline to be a battle trick and then replace itself, but hopefully we can have some more card draw. Oh, another Noxus Hopeful.
But really,
what is this cheating?
But just so everyone just knows, I do believe George actually missed a Raven Bloom conservatory trigger. He was so excited about activating that Thwonk that he did not get the value out of it. And that's one of the best parts about Raven Bloom in the Arhi deck. Oftentimes, it lets you recycle and do a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, he missed out on that because he's going to really need the extra card draw in this match in order to win.
Ooh,
And the third Nox is hopeful.
Ooh, and another Thwonk coming down. But is that going to be enough? Because that's just a Sand Soldier facing down 8 units.
Man, he doesn't have enough for the double here. So we're just instead going to trade 1 for 1. We're going to discipline up our Sand Soldier to 4, draw a card, trade with it. Draven gets to draw now.
And that's the issue. Draven used his hand to kind of set up this big miracle turn of summoning big creatures, and the Draven deck can facilitate that because every time they win combat, they draw a card. So even if he kind of like nuts out all of his hand, he's able to recoup it, and that's the important part of why Miracle Draven is so strong. I can see a Meditate in George's hand, and we do know that he does have a Thwonk here. So looking at it right now, Prismat has 11, 13 Might already on board. Ooh, and the Raven Bloom missing an Ezreal here.
I like actually getting rid of that Ezreal. It's really helpful for the Sona.
Ooh, and the awesome part about using one of the disciplines on the Sona is the Sona will be able to untap 4 and another Eager Apprentice. With the 4 untapping, this double Thwonk has been activated just yet again. Now let's see what Kyle has to do. The thing is, Kyle has seen that Thwonk being added to George's hand.
Man, both players not getting the cards they need off of this Raven Bloom. But we can double Thwonk here for 2. Oh, I used some 3 mana. Okay. Oh, man.
Oh, there you
And
go.
the
And there's that hard
bargain.
bargain. An offer that George couldn't take. Having 2 mana not being open means that Thwonk was not going to go through. And the thing about the Arhi matchup and a lot of things is Arhi wants to be control a majority of this game. But if they can't, if it loses kind of control of this hold, then it can spiral really hard because Arhi has a tough time conquering multiple battlefields without something like a Watcher. And a Thwonk knocking down one of the units, but a spinning axe on the battering ram makes it to where it cleanly eats the Eager Apprentice and the Sona.
We do have to remember the battle math here of the Arhi being able to minus things as well when they're attacking in. The problem is that our Arhi player is super low on cards, and we're losing our Sona and our Eager Apprentice. Man, if only every deck could run Ezreal.
Yep. But right now, Kyle is low on cards. He is winning the board right now. But if George is able to go ahead and try to break this board, Kyle is down to just 1 card. But it's 5 points to, I believe,
He just
to
discarded
3.
2 Ezreals?
Yeah, 1 off the Zon Warrens and 1 off the Traveling Merchant move. It was a 4. He had to discard it because that was the only card in his hand.
Yeah, he is running low on steam, but his push has been wild.
Yep. Just being 5 points to 3 is just enough versus Arhi, and especially when Arhi is the one trying to be on offense, it has a tough time breaking this double hold, barring something like a Watcher. And I don't even think George has the mana for Watcher. It's 8 mana. I believe he has 7.
And we know 1 Watcher's at the bottom of his deck now because of Raven Bloom. We would have loved to see it. If only he forgot the trigger. Cool. We get to double input into our Sand Soldiers here, make 2. That's why that card is pretty good. It's a 2-drop early, but it's like 2 minions in the mid game. It's pretty nice. 3 mana, summon our unit Arhi. Draven at 6. If he gets a double hold here, it is game. Let's see what card that Draven got right off the top. Draven have 2 cards access right now. Oh, what a card off the top. A called shot.
Yeah, that's the thing. The red and purple color combination just has so many haymakers. Something like Called Shot in a top deck scenario is just insane because that's just extra cards. You see 4 cards deep, and you get to pick 2 of the best cards. And this is...
When did you guys start? You guys will be here till 1. This is a 2 out of 3, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it is looking really, really... But I can't repeat. This has 1 tap, 4 open, tap, 4 1, 2, 2.
Called shot being 0, it has to be criminal, though.
Yeah.
And another bat. He drew every battering ram and every Noxus Hopeful in his deck.
And there you go. And a hide. It could be an Edge of Night, or it could be a just a fighter flight, or it could be a Teemo. You never know.
Could be. Could be.
Yep, and it looks like that is the nail in the coffin here. I don't know how George can get out of this, because even something like a Watcher is not going to be enough, because the fight or flight most likely just checks the Watcher here.
He just has to get rid of 1. There's only a Merchant in the back. If we can actually get rid of 1 battlefield and then draw into a Watcher for the next turn, but then you're right, there is a fight or flight there to stop it.
Yeah, and the issue is Kyle just needs to only hold just 1 battlefield. I can tell George is a huge fan of the Arhi strategy just by his his choice of Legend and that beautiful over number, maybe even a signature Arhi. And George in the tank trying to figure out, is there any combination of cards that can win him the game? I believe it's a Frigid Touch in hand. That's going to be -4.
Blitzcrank, I think it has Feral Strength in hand as well, maybe. It's
Oh,
plus
it's Feral Strength, not Frigid Touch. Yeah, it's Feral
plus
Strength.
2 might repeat.
Blue Arhi will trade with one of the guys. The math is not checking out. George can most likely clear one of these battlefields, but it is near impossible at least to clear both of Kyle's imposing boards. And there we go. It goes to Kyle right now. And that was game 1, really just showing the power of Draven. It was looking really scary for Prismat at first. Arhi had, you know, a nice turn with the Thwonk, was able to get early monster, hold a battlefield. But the issue is Draven, the Miracle Draven in particular, is very good against these slow decks, because being able to drop 12, 16 might in 1 turn is just a little too much. A lot of times these Arhi decks are very good against just creature strategies, but when you summon 3 big creatures at once, the Arhi Legend ability pales in comparison to what the Draven is doing. Just want to say thank you to all 138 watchers right now. If you don't know what's happening, this is round 3 of our 2K. $2,000 will be given out to top 8. First place will be getting $700, and we'll be getting a signature card. So if you want to, if next time there's a big event here in, what is it called, Vegas, be sure to check out People's Card Shop. We do a lot of events for a lot of games. Come check us out. Well, the one solace that the Arhi player does have is the Arhi gets to go ahead and go first, and that's where she wants to be. The issue is we're going to be going into game 3, and Draven gets to go first, and Arhi has a tough time trying to crack battlefields, especially with something like Draven, where Draven has these big overstatted minions. I would love a clutch game 2 from Arhi. And if you guys like our commentary, just to let you guys know, my name is Ed, and I'm joined with Michael. We have a YouTube channel called Conquer and Hold. If you like our commentary, like our yapping, be sure to check out our channel. We have a lot of content. We do weekly videos. We also upload VODs from all of our streams. So come check it out. Subscribe to Conquer and Hold. Appreciate y'all. Do you think Arhi will see some success at the regional, Michael?
I think it's just too rough. I think Arhi plays too much of a fair game, and as we clearly saw in this game, that yeah, she can hold her own in the early game, but once there's that one turn where like Aurelia or Draven, or they're doing something completely unfair, it's just so hard for her to catch back up because she doesn't have anything like that in her arsenal right now.
Yeah. Ari is very, very good at holding a lead, but has a tough time getting it in the first place. And when you play against volatile decks like Draven, it's just, it seems really, really rough. But I'm hoping. When I found out George was playing Ari, I was so ecstatic. I really can't wait to see what technology he has.
Also, I love the Eager Apprentice, but then he didn't get any good card draw. Because maybe he needs to put like Consult the Past, or maybe he just didn't draw Consult the Past, because that'd be a cool card to have in his deck as well for some extra card draw. Call shot, just drawing 2 cards, you get to look at them, is just too hard to deal with most times. God Willow and
And play
Obelisk of
Riftbound
Power.
just like Dave Guskin intended. Shout out to Dave Guskin if you're watching. Thank you for making Riftbound, or helping make Riftbound. I love it. And here we go. It's going to be Obelisk of Power. One of the best parts about Obelisk of Power is you get to basically summon a turn 2 card on turn 1 when you go second. Most importantly, you're never going to miss your 1-drop because you'll be able to summon Draven turn 1 going second with Obelisk of Power. But then we have George with his Grove of the God Willow, the quintessential Ari battlefield. It literally has Ari and Watcher on it. If you don't know what that does, when you hold, that player gets to draw a card. So it really fits in with the whole Ari strategy of just holding down one battlefield and just being able to protect it with a flurry of spells. But 4 mana here, is Kyle going to go wide, or is he going to drop a Draven? That's the question here.
Double 2-drop. 2-drop Nox is hopeful.
Yes, sir.
Oh my
Nox is
gosh.
hopeful, honestly, is one of my favorite cards in set 1, but in set 2, it's no slouch. Really, Draven is one of the best decks to take advantage of it, because just this huge body can be converted into just drawing extra cards from the Nox is hopeful.
I really like dropping the Sona. We can tempo out, but then we also get our runes back up to defend. If we can hold this turn, it's going to be really nice for us.
But this is all. This is the all-important turn. Kyle can go off with a miracle turn. Let's see if he can do it here.
That's a good sign. Not going for the bottom battlefield right now. Ari is a little bit safe.
Prismat has come. Just want to say that some of the best and brightest players have come down today at People's Card Shop. We are locals located here in Vegas, and we're hosting a 2K, and it really brought out some of the best players. Last round, we featured Alan CQ, the Bologna winner, and now we have Prismat, one of the top players in our game. And here we go.
Draven knocks his hopeful.
Draven knocks his hopeful. Even though it's not really
aggression
a
just
miracle
continues.
turn, he dropped 8 might, potentially 10 might worth of damage on the board. Draven can kind of play like a little slow game to where maybe Arhi can't come back from it. And it's going to be 1 to 2 points. Let's see how George can push it even further. Ooh, I like this. So normally tapping out or tapping a lot of mana isn't good in a lot of these control decks, but because of Sona's ability of being able to untap 4 runes if she's at a battlefield, essentially this token card is essentially free, summoning two units. Here you go, and George is going to 6. It's real scary right now. What is
Feral
in his
strength,
hand?
Zhonya's hour. He didn't play the Zhonya's hourglass. Maybe he. Zhonya's hourglass, feral strength, and Thwonk. He probably didn't want to deramp.
Here we go. Is it going to be a miracle turn? Is there going to be a bunch of battering rams and Rosses coming down here?
Ezreal called shot.
And just so everyone knows, we're at 2 cards being activated this turn. So battering ram is going to be 3 might. Not 3 might, is going to cost 3 cards. I mean 3 energy. Big Thwonk energy.
There's so much time left, but Draven just seems to have so much power down.
Just want to say thank you to all our watchers. We have 152 people watching right now. I really appreciate it, and we're gonna give you the best possible show we can have. Have the best players playing right now just for you guys. And another called shot. We've literally watched 3 feature matches where I feel like people have been literally called shot out of the game. One called shot really puts you ahead, but multiple called shots throughout the game, it just ends up being too much card advantage for a lot of these more fair decks to handle.
Arhi needs some type of card draw, and it's unfortunate when you're going up against someone who, whenever they win a combat, they draw a card, and they get to play called shot in their deck. They get to continually draw Ezreal, called shot, stack deck. And then you get Noxus Hopeful Battering Ram to play off of these free cards. Call shot being 0, you can play multiple in a turn. And then you get to play your Noxus Hopeful for 2, and Battering Ram, what was that even cost? Like
just as a
2
reminder,
mana Battering Ram? 1 mana?
and just as a reminder, both players are 2-0. This is a undefeated Arhi list right now. And honestly, if this Arhi is able to win against a player of Prismat's just ability, that's really something to look at, because Prismat is one of the de facto best Draven players world right
Look
now.
at his board. It's double Noxus. Is that triple Noxus Hopeful Battering Ram Draven?
Ooh, and Meditation, one of my favorite cards from set 1, being able to draw 1, but if you tap a unit, you draw 2. But the thing about it in Arhi is oftentimes your units are going to be ready because they're just out here holding.
Tap another 2 mana. Also, a really good thing that you can do against players like Arhi who are floating mana is if you just constantly play units in your base to build up, all of that floating mana they can't use.
Ooh.
You just play a bunch of stuff in your base and then pass, and they just it's back to them.
And double meditation, tapping out doesn't seem that good, but we have to remember that Sona's ability to untap 4 essentially just makes these meditations free.
I really like this because we have Ravenbloom and we have the Apprentice. We have Ravenbloom and we have the Apprentice down.
So if you just want to know who Prismat is, that is Kyle. Prismat is actually the best of winner of the Draven deck in Bologna, but also he's no slouch. In Houston, he got top 64 with Teemo. He's been a big player in this scene for a while, a lot of online tournaments, and just an overall fantastic player. It's his government name, yep. Actually,
Ooh, the, what's that card?
Discipline?
No, he has,
Oh,
Overpower?
Thundersong. Thundersong is one of the just
Oh
most
my gosh.
egregious cards in the game.
he's got to let it all rip now.
The beauty of it is that at least you can respond reaction speed to the trigger of the Thundersong. So George basically has to have foresight and has to play in a very heads-up way, predicting what Kyle could potentially do. Because if he calls it wrong and has played, the wrong buffs, potentially Kyle can break through this board. And my goodness, he literally, I think he has like over 20 might on board, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just snuck a little peek in Ari's hand, and he has unchecked power. So if Kyle actually fully commits a lot of his units here, he can actually lose the game. Thundersong just making it so that you cannot activate cards on your opponent's turn. The Draven deck just continues to cheat. But a cool thing to know is that it is a trigger, so you have to use all of your responses, all of your reactionary responses right there before the Thundersong goes off. A lot of people might not know that, but you got to make sure that you are using those before that happens. Double Noxus Hopefuls in. They're going to go minus down to 3. We're going to trade with the Sona. We're taking it slow. I don't mind it. Take him off that Sona power. We do not need to overextend. I really like it how he is actually playing around in unchecked power right now. He's not overstatting the battlefield that he's controlling. He's put his merchant in there. And the Draven player is going to pick this apart piece by piece. He's first going to kill the Sona. We're going to bunker down, put our Arhi into the battlefield.
And George is just really just showing the power of Grove of the Godwilla. He literally took over this this battlefield and has never left, drawing multiple cards back to back to back. Even surviving the Thundersong turn, which is a huge surprise here. Oftentimes that card is a death sentence for cards that like to leave up mana. But here's the scary thing, because George isn't applying a lot of pressure to this other battlefield. Cards like this Traveling Merchant can move freely back in and out. Even though it's not scoring points necessarily, he is filtering out his deck. And there we go. Stack deck is also coming down. Just like what I'm saying here is because of the Traveling Merchant, because of this stack deck and the slow pace of the Arhi deck, he's able to kind of set up a huge turn, which potentially might blow it out. I don't know if George can handle a second Thundersong coming down next turn. Maybe that's what Kyle is desperately looking for.
Yeah, it looks like we have Thwonk, Discipline. Nice. We're going to Use our Defy here. Whenever our Draven's going to run into this Arhi down here, he is going to get -3 might, -1. Oh, double Rasa. Those Rasas aren't looking so big when they have to fight into Arhi and the Legend. Time Warp to scar the hand, so we're going to stop that. That is a good Defy.
Yeah.
Because our Draven player does want to actually see 4 new cards. It's going to be very beneficial for him. That has to hurt having that stopped right here.
Ooh, will he have a not so fast?
Hard
will he have a
bargain?
hard bargain to go ahead and force
you do
George
it.
to pay for it? 3 mana. It is going to be 2 mana. It is going to be a hard. Oh, does he have Ezreal on board? Ooh, it is a
He
hard
does have
bargain
Ezreal.
for the repeat cost. He only had 3 mana, but we have to remember, Ezreal is friggin' broken. Being able to repeat a what is it called? A hard bargain.
I think
kind of
we just
stop this
I
Defy.
think we let it go and see new cards. We could. I don't,
Ooh, and another Defy. Was that 2 Defies?
no, he paid it.
He paid it. Yeah.
I just think we might have let that go. Maybe we use discipline and draw cards here. Because we're kind of tapped out now. Draven's tapped out as well, but he has like a bajillion might. But into the Arhi is going to minus that a lot.
Yeah.
So we do want to go in and kill the Arhi just like slightly here, but the Arhi has no tank. Oh, he could have that one spell. We know he had a Zhonya's Hourglass, so it's probably Zhonya's Hourglass, but there's another hidden card that gives something tank, which could be cool. So we're probably going to use our Draven here in order to get might.
And the Zhonyas is really good here because
They're all at
even
one.
if George is able to trade everything, if George is able to just not let Kyle score the point and basically end up with a monster, it is a net positive because George has point initiative. He will score the 8th point before Kyle.
So Battering Ram is at 2. The other ones are at 1. Draven is at 3. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 8.
Yeah.
Draven player swinging in with 8 might.
And just as a reminder, if you are a little bit confused because Arhi is kind of a niche-er champion, Ari's legend ability is every time a unit is attacking, it's going to go ahead and get a -1 while, Arhi is holding the battlefield. So being able to mess up this combat math definitely puts Kyle on eggshells. Any potential flubber
Thwomp.
can and Thwomp coming down, basically ruining all this combat math, and it seems like it's going to be a wipe on Kyle's field.
Zhonya's Hourglass. That is nice to save that Arhi.
And what's awesome about saving the Arhi is normally Arhi has a tough time breaking boards, but because of the Arhi unit being saved, that is one of the few units in Arhi that's really good at fighting 1v1s and taking down battlefields.
What's kind of cool about the Zhonya's Hourglass is it goes back to base, so the unit could push into the Obelisk of Power to get an additional point if he wants to.
Yeah, if he wins it, yeah.
Wow, he lost a lot, but it's not that bad because he took so much away from the Draven.
Yeah.
Losing the Battering Ram, the Noxus Hopeful, the Ezreal, but in the back he still has a lot of might. He has Noxus Hopeful, 2 Rasas, and a Merchant, so that is nothing to just laugh at. That's a lot of might back there. Here is the turn.
The thing about it is George used a huge amount of monsters and spells to fight off this onslaught from this Miracle Draven deck. However, if you look at Kyle's back row, he has 2 Rasas, a Noxus Hopeful, and a Traveling Merchant. That's 18 might on board. Is George going to be able to sneak this win
Sona?
out? Honestly, if he has a Sona backed up with maybe like a Thwonk Discipline, I could definitely see him having enough.
Blitzcrank.
And a Blitzcrank is exactly what we needed here
nice.
to scoop up this Rasa, but more importantly, it is going to proc both Arhi and Ari's
Arhi.
Legend. Yeah, Arhi and Arhi, double Arhi.
They're procking.
And it's going to eat up this Rasa, and Blitzcrank takes down another
Wow.
one. If you don't know
What
what
a good
Blitzcrank
blitz.
does, when you play him at a battlefield, you may move a unit to him, and then he also has tank. And then he gets to pick himself back up every time he holds. So it's basically just a charm on legs, but specifically it being a tank, it's able to tank damage to protect stuff like Arhi and other things like that. But let's see what Kyle has. Kyle has a bevy of cards in hand, but I don't know if he can beat this, not necessarily fat field from Arhi, but this very, very varied field with a lot of different options.
He still has the unchecked power as well.
Ooh, the unchecked power is going to be a good thing, simply because George has a point lead. He can definitely use that point lead to leverage the unchecked power into basically baiting Kyle into it and causing him to lose a huge amount of monsters.
That's why I like Singularity more than unchecked power, because if it was Singularity, he'd have been able to use it like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Unchecked power, there's a lot of things that have to go right for it to be there, but it's one of those cards where if you're unprepared for it, it can be a complete blowout.
Yeah, that's why I don't mind like 1 unchecked power, 1 Singularity or something like that. Have the variance.
Here we go, and Rasa into the, ooh, and that student goes down, and Rasa finally gets to overtake this Grove of the God Willow. This Grove of the God Willow has been a pain in Kyle's side this entire time. George has had that battlefield since turn 2 and has been drawing nonstop. Oh my goodness. This Traveling Merchant has moved up and down, left and right constantly, and just discarding a scrap heap is a lot of card advantage. And that's the issue with decks that hold. George is not applying a lot of pressure. So Kyle has to do the bare minimum to get points, and he just has to set up these big, long-winded turns where he activates multiple draw cards so he can set up a huge board that George is most likely unprepared for. Man, it's stack deck after, what is it called? Called shot. Just a plethora of draw cards coming from Kyle, being able to sculpt his hand to exactly what he wants. But can he sculpt it to beat George's hold? That's the real question here.
The crazy thing about Blitzcrank is you get to use it again next turn. So yeah, Kyle went and he's holding the God Willow, but whatever he sets up in the back row in the base, Blitzcrank is going to snatch it right up and kill it. So he's not going to have enough might in order to push into that Blitzcrank Arhi lane on the upcoming turn. Okay, we have 1 more mana. We're playing Battering Ram.
Yeah, if he has like maybe another Rasa or another Battering Ram, it would be great here. But man, this Blitzcrank is really putting a lot of scary stuff into Kyle.
That's cool. He could have a fight. He's playing a Fight or Flight there because then he could always Fight or Flight the Rasa down and then push it up if he needs. But then if you're attacking the Arhi and then the Legend ability and the unit Arhi, that's so much minus. So Blitz going back to the hand. What a huge comeback from the Arhi player.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things is watching players who play these rogue decks play their little pet decks. They know these small interactions. They know how to make the most out of these small, like, little holes in their opponent's, chink in their armor. And George might be able to ride this to victory.
What do we pull?
Using the
Battle,
Blitzcrank
the
again.
Ram?
Most likely going to pick up this Battering Ram, but I can
You
see
could
him also
pull the
trying to.
Rasta
Oh, is there a Rasa? Where's the Rasa?
on the other battlefield.
On the other battlefield. Oh, damn, Blitzcrank's broken. And here you go. Blitzcrank is eating up that battering ram. But here's the problem. The fight or if it is a fight or flight at the bottom battlefield, Kyle can activate fight or flight, push the Rasa down, and now that might be a break point in might to break through
But
George's
it's still
board.
such a tiny amount of might. That's only like 3 might.
So right now, George has 8, but as a
bushwhack.
reminder, the Arhi unit minuses 2, and also the Arhi Legend will -1. Oh, and is that a Bushwhack? Bushwhack is actually one of my favorite red cards to come out of Spiritforged. If you are unaware, it's actually one of the linchpins in the Draven strategy. Oftentimes, the Draven is able to summon multiple creatures in a turn, but backed with Bushwhack, it gives pseudo-accelerate to all of them, and it's just sick nasty when it's activated. And here we go, showing the power of Bushwhack. This Rasa is unleashed. It is accelerated, and now it can try to fight this Blitzcrank and Arhi combination. Looking onto the board right now, we have 9, 13 might on board, barring any of the Arhi abilities. So will Kyle have enough?
We could also move the merchant down to. So we're going to attack with him in.
And then
spinning axe. If
Ooh.
we have a,
So what's cool about
if
the
it
spinning
gets-
axe is the spinning axe does 3. I mean, gives 3 might. So it makes up for 1 the both Arhi abilities. But is that going to be enough? That is the question.
if Thwonk happens here, it's pretty rough.
He has Thwonk, Unchecked Power. I think he has a Discipline also. George has a lot of options. But with what comes with a lot of options is the ability to make mistakes.
I like thwonking the Rasa here because if it actually dies, then you get to move the axe to something else, which is a problem.
Yeah?
I think you should have thwonked the thing with the axe so it wouldn't fall off.
And it would just be pushed back and then...
Because now it's like going to go on to whatever unit comes in next, which is really unfortunate.
Yep, and that's a very heads-up move. Sometimes the counterintuitive move is actually just seems like the right one. But let's see, that was George's line of play. Let's see how it pans out. Ooh, and a Fizz. What is Fizz going to copy in the graveyard? And just as a reminder, because of Bushwhack, Fizz does come in, accelerate. Ooh, and a fight or flight to push this Rasa down. Kyle really just showing the mastery of his deck. When we think he's out, he's able to have a cavalcade of cards just come out and just overpower George.
That's where unchecked power can come in, though.
The issue is I don't think Kyle is going to play around. Is going to play around something like the unchecked power because he's only going to leave the Rasa and the Traveling Merchant up, leaving these 3 other units in base to hopefully play around unchecked power. But let's see if Kyle has the forethought to see, hey, you know what? I'm comfortable with these units in base. And no, he's planning to move them. Maybe is this going to be one of the sickest, fattest unchecked powers? No. And as loud as I am being, Kyle is, what's happening? I don't know.
If he doesn't put it in, I think he loses the Watcher. He has to play around Watcher. It's because Watcher is just a more prevalent card in these decks.
Yeah.
George has to be smiling. He's hiding that smile. He saw those units in. He's so happy inside.
So we know he has the unchecked power, but what is important here is if George can go activate unchecked power and still have enough mana to play a unit. If he can still have enough mana to play a unit, this game...
He has Arhi up, too.
He has Arhi. Oh, he has Arhi. Oh, dang. He has Arhi up. So, right. Again, no. Especially if he has another unit, he can uncheck power, leave Arhi and 2 units in the back, and is able to double conquer.
Yeah.
So right now, Kyle playing around something like Thousand-Tailed Watcher is the disciplined move. However, stacking 5 units to the battlefield, that calls for the unchecked power, and George has it.
Needs to be checked.
Here we go.
Oh,
and there's the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. And is that going to be lethal? That's the question here.
Is that enough? I think he was just mathing it out. So Fizz is at 1, 1, 1, 2. That's 5. And then Rasa's at 6. It's interesting.
So it's 6, right? 6 to 7. Because it's only the Rasa. All the other units are at 1, right? So it's 3, 3, 6. So it's 6 to 7, right?
Rasa has the axe on it. So Rasa will just be at 6.
Oh, it's gonna be okay. So it's gonna be 9 to 6.
9 to 7.
Oh, 9 to 7. Yeah, 9 to 7. But is there an on guard in his hand? What is in his hand?
On guard would be kind of nasty. I feel he's shaking his head. He should just uncheck power.
He should have just
and then-
unchecked
then he
power and
could've
just passed, and then
he
double
could've just-
conquered with the
Yeah.
thing.
Man, he's really upset. I think you just have to shove it in there and kill as many units as you can at this point, because you already played it. Well, yeah, it does have an on guard. It's annoying, but it will trade with everything.
It'll trade with everything, and then Prismat is only down to 2 cards. He
think-
already used 2 copies of Bushwhack, so it has to be like something like a Kaisa or anything like that.
Does he not have the on guard? He has an on guard.
Oh, and that's it.
Wait, if he on guard, he would have cleared it though.
I don't think it's on guard.
What is it?
It's a meditation.
No, I saw his on guard in his hand. He has on guard, meditation, unchecked power.
But
Look,
let's-
you can see it right there. Man, that is unfortunate. He was doing so well.
yeah, that
It's
really
a high
was all-
pressure match, though.
Yeah. And that was a really close match. You know, honestly, the Arhi player drew like 6 or 7 cards off of it. But that's one of the things. Even if there is game point or anything like that, you have to be able to do it, to commit to the play. And
Yeah, I think he didn't see the axe.
yeah, he didn't see the axe. And it kind of ruined the math. And that's the thing. When you make plays like that, you have to double check on everything.
Yeah, but even if he didn't see the axe, he still had the on guard in order to. He would have been able to go, like, it would have been perfect. It would have been the same.
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
I think he just got really flustered in that moment because he played the washer, didn't see the axe.
Yeah, I truly just believe the Arhi player did get flustered. Yeah. That's just one of the things in high pressure situations. When you think you're going to win, oftentimes you get a little foolhardy. You make mistakes, but that often happens in card games. And, you know, we just have to get past that and try to figure out how to make the best move as much as possible.
Yeah, there's no going backs in tournaments like this, right? You know, we're playing for a lot of money. A lot of money's on the line. And uncheck power into, like, the double conquer.
Okay, yeah, well, that was round 3. That was Kyle B, also known as Prismat, giving us a showcase on the Draven deck. And we also had George playing Arhi. That was a back-and-forth game. You know, that was a heartbreaker of a match to watch, seeing
it was
such
so
a
good.
close game
close.
come down to such a kind of small mistake. But, you know, that is the...
Yeah, he pushed all units to play against Watcher, so he, like, stacked them enough to be over Watcher.
Yeah, 100%, John. I'm slamming that unchecked power. Prismat only had 2 cards in hand. He had to have a double conquer line, and we already saw double Bushwhack being played. And last time I checked,
But Fizz, though.
Fizz would be another good pick.
Yeah, if you uncheck power and then he goes, you know, Fizz, Bushwhack, play a unit, and then he just double conquers.
Yeah.
But still, it was real close, almost. That was a good game.
Yep. And just as a reminder, if you guys like the commentary, you like what you saw, as a reminder, this is the People's Card Shop Twitch. We stream every Monday at 6:30 our Nexus nights. We also do usually monthly events like case tournaments. Today, we are doing our 2K in preparation for this regionals. Some of the best players in the world have come up. YCS champions, Flesh and Blood champions, Magic champions are all here playing the game, playing Riftbound, trying to get their reps in before the regionals.
And if you like us, we have a YouTube channel called Conquer and Hold. We always post our VODs over there, and occasionally every week we also do a talk about Riftbound, all the important news, meta deck lists, things like that. So
Okay.
if you're interested in something of that type of nature, stop on by.
Also, if you guys want like certain types of decks being featured, I've been checking up and down, trying to figure out stuff. If you guys have anything you guys want us to feature, any other players or anything like that, you can go ahead, just post it in the chat, and I'll try to see if we can get it. I wanted to feature this Arhi because I noticed he was 2-0.
But also true, yeah, the Fizz wouldn't be ready by the Bushwhack. It would have to be like Fizz, Bushwhack, hold the battlefield, or like have like small units. But yeah, close.
Yeah.
Be back 8 minutes in this round and probably like 5 minutes. So give us another 15 minutes and we'll be back with round 4.